So recently, HBO dropped the official trailer for Warrior Season 3, and we've been working tirelessly day and night to give you guys a breakdown before the actual season starts. If you're happy about this, thank XArielX for the suggestion. Remember that since the season hasn't started yet, all of our takes on this trailer are pure speculation, and we're probably going to be wrong a bunch. But once again, y'all are here for entertainment, not facts. So let's do this chronologically and just run through some of the most interesting things in the trailer. If we forgot something, just drop us a comment. We're extremely active in the comment section, so we're always looking to engage with viewers and learn something. So let's get into this. So the first 30 seconds of the trailer are primarily focused on the Hop Way. We see Ah Sahm confront several Long Z members with the typical Ah Sahm cocky attitude that we know and love.
You guys seem to have wandered off Long Z territory. Walk away. Well, you escalated that pretty fast. Usually there's a little more repartee.
I actually remember this particular Long Z member. He got his arm snapped by Ah Sahm in season 1, but hey, he's back, and what seems to be an easy fight for Ah Sahm turns out to be something more difficult. But at least Yong, Jun, and Hong are there to pick him up, so we know the trio is still together to start the season, but what the hell was so powerful that it sent Ah Sahm through that window? I'm slightly concerned. Now, obviously we know how trailers are cut, so these fights could take place in completely different episodes, but who cares? We need something to talk about. Anyways, Yong Jun then lets us know that the Hop Way are on their heels. They're losing men and money, so the very existence of their Tong is in question.
These are tough times. We're losing money and we're losing guys.
Damon, any thoughts on the first 30 seconds? The Hop Way are on defense.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking a look at how the last season actually ends, you would much rather be the Long Z than the Hop Way in terms of the dynamic of who's in control of what. They're going through an organizational restructure, not a full rebuild, but it's going to take some time to unite and actually get on the Long Z's level under what Ling now has cooking. I'm into the action scene so far. The concept of the Hatchet Man seems to be focused on more than it has in seasons past. One question I had, actually 3 questions, so bear with me here. Who's in the coffin? Is it a new member? Is it a trusted associate? Somebody we've grown to love? Is there a reappearance from Father Jun at all in this season? We'll see. Ah Sam's got his own mural, but he can't be playing the type of hero ball he has in the past if they're going to survive as a Tong, and I think that's hinted at based on the fact that Yong Jun and Hong come to his defense toward the end of that clip. One quote that comes back to me is what Father Jun left Yong Jun with at the end of last season.
But believe me, the battles you choose not to fight are every bit as important as the ones you do.
I can only imagine that an all-out bloodbath against the Long Z would be a huge uphill battle from the Hop Way, so we'll see what happens going forward from there.
The trailer then shifts its attention to Ling, who seems to be building an army. This shouldn't be very surprising because season 2 ended with Ling clearly having the upper hand over Buckley, and with the Long Z, as Damon mentioned, in good position to expand their power. But I do want to touch on one thing. Who the fook is this guy? He looks pretty dangerous. Gotta be a new high-level Hatchet Man for the Long Z. We see Ah Sahm and Chow having a drink, and Ah Sahm still hasn't gotten over the fact that Ling ordered his death. Fair enough. We then hear Ling telling a bloody Yong Jun that they need to work together and she doesn't want to be at war.
I no longer want to be at war.
Meanwhile, the trailer cuts to a few guys while she's talking. We recognize Happy Jack, but I don't know who the hell these other guys are. New villains, new allies. I'm all for it. We also see a quick montage of a fight between the Hop Way and Long Z in the streets where Ah Sahm and Lee Yong engage. Very cool, and now is a good time to plug our Ah Sahm versus Lee Yong fight breakdown if you hadn't had a chance to see that yet. Link is in the description. But to me, this fight doesn't look to be the real rematch in my opinion. It looks like both guys are kind of holding back, but I could be wrong. We then hear Yong Jun say, "Peace never lasts."
Peace never lasts.
Okay, so we're about a minute through the trailer. Ling is proposing a truce. We see some new guys in the mix. Another Ah Sahm versus Lee Yong fight is in the work. Damon, lots to unpack. What's going on? Do you believe Ling?
Hey, I would love to believe Ling, but we all know how that usually works out. I'd entertain the idea that a Tong War is too detrimental to the actual survival of Chinatown when you have a ton of these outside influences entering the fray. I'm definitely into a Happy Jack reappearance and whoever else is coming through because we still have more questions to answer, right? Are they brought in by Buckley, Leary, or are they simply just scoundrels here to take advantage of the chaos that we see building up? If a truce is actually called, I would expect it to be tossed out the second that Chinatown is stable again. Because as much as I want to see a full-on Ah Sahm Lee Yong rematch, I don't think anything serious is going to go down until they've figured out what's actually happening under their noses, because it feels like we have a lot of people coming in to basically fuck up the actual flow of what's going on. I do love the fact that our boy Chow has reemerged as a glue character. He provides rational advice while throwing down a drink at the bar with whoever enters the camera shot, and he's also tasked with keeping an eye on the actual Tong, per Father Jun once again.
Keep an eye on my boy.
So he'll probably have a big role in this season. I wanted to mention the Justin Lin frame that pops up early on in the trailer as well. He is the famed director and producer. Our boy is ready to roll. Apparently, he actually had some beef with Vin Diesel that resulted in him leaving the Fast franchise, which is kind of wild since he built up a bunch of it for them. But with the production value that he and Shannon Lee have given Warrior, I think he'll always be family to us. Shout out Justin Lin.
So I'm going to characterize the next 30 seconds of the trailer as Chinatown being under siege, because we hear Ah Sahm saying the cops are shutting down businesses.
Cops are shutting down our businesses. All hell's breaking news because of you.
Is he talking to Young Jun? Remember, everyone, trailers are essentially lying season, so even though they frame it like he's talking to Young Jun, that might not be the case. We then see our local racist Buckley calling the Chinese an alien race and saying they'll cleanse their city of them.
We will cleanse our city of this alien race.
As a Chinese American man, this hurts me deeply, Damon. I'll have to hit the bottle to feel better about this. We then see our local gambler cop Bill telling Ah Toy that he might not be able to keep trouble from her door.
I may not be able to keep trouble from your door.
So it's clear the cops are now targeting Chinatown as a whole, and even Ah Toy is in danger. Ah Sahm suggests that Ah Toy leave town, and she's basically like, nah, I'm way too lit to run. And finally, I'll end this little section of the trailer with our ex-cop Lee dropping a fucking bomb.
I'm not a cop anymore. I can do things differently.
Is he talking to Chow? Is Lee about to become a vigilante? Shit, remember Lee's first interaction with Chow?
This man deals weapons to the tongue. Shouldn't we be shutting him down?
Shut me down. But I am friend to police. You ask Big Bill, he tell you.
Man, they grow up so fast. All right, David, so this portion of the trailer is Chinatown under siege from City Hall. Lots of little storylines to pick up. What's on your mind?
First things first on this one, I am not going to be satisfied until Buckley has been brutally killed off somehow. The guy has to be the most infuriating villain I've seen in a minute here. You also have the constant racist undertone of the operations going on at City Hall, and sometimes it's not even an undertone.
We wouldn't be able to contain them.
And we'd have no trouble getting the Exclusion Act passed.
You mentioned it, it's important to highlight it. The historic parallels between the struggles that the Chinese immigrants had to endure, from bad railroad deals to constant police harassment, are just the tip of the iceberg here. But I'm really glad to see that the season readdresses those issues, because historical context is super important in this case. Sometimes it goes under the radar, but it should also be noted that the Irish were essentially punching bags before the Chinese immigration in the US.
I don't see no Americans. I see trespassers. Irish hops do a job for a nickel what a does for a dime, and a white man used to get a quarter for.
So it's wild to see the cyclical nature and the lack of empathy associated with this, since a lot of the Irish community was in the same spot earlier, but I guess we have a short memory here in America. Seems super on the nose for Ah Sahm to be talking to Young Jun in that scene that you mentioned, like you mentioned as well. Maybe he's talking to Ling, or perhaps other Hop Way members that haven't been discreet enough in their operations. Like you also said, Ah Toy remains a straight up G. I actually would be down to do a future video analyzing her role and progression in the show a little bit more, because she's a super interesting character, and it seems like there's like a lot of different stuff to unpack there. When it comes to Lee, our favorite ex-cop turned renegade, I'm assuming this guy could have his own goddamn spinoff, in my opinion. I love his character, and the depth that they gave when he hit the bottle hard, became disenfranchised with the police force last season.
Some men need to be killed.
Your classic, almost McNulty-esque from The Wire operation here going on. It's good to see that they're going to peel that back a bit more. And the fact that City Hall is going to be ponying up against Chinatown means that we could also see Bill with more power to wield, with more influence, or they could simply kind of like phase him out because they think he's too friendly to the people in Chinatown.
Yes.
Are we disturbing you?
Not at all. Just making some notes.
Put the man's guts back in his fucking belly. Jesus.
Okay, so the next section is pretty brief. I'm just going to call it Leary. We finally get a Leary appearance where there's palpable tension between him and Buckley. These two were destined to be enemies at some point, and it sounds like Leary's enjoying the game of politics now.
Some folks just don't have the stomach for politics.
Of course, we can't forget who Dylan Leary is, and a season of Warrior without Leary fucking some dudes up would be incomplete, so we get those shots in this trailer. So a small section, just a few Leary lines, but Leary versus Buckley seems like a developing storyline, Damon. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, what's that old phrase? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Leary may be a piece of shit, but he's dope in fight scenes, and I'm rooting for him over Buckley 10 times out of 10, regardless of his shortcomings. Seems like there's definitely going to be huge disagreements about the employment contracts, just like last couple seasons, related to railroad construction and construction in general, as per usual. So this is basically the system politics against the populist politics in a different method that we're not used to seeing in the modern day. So I'm really into seeing how that plays out. It's going to be interesting to see if Leary can actually keep his hands clean long enough to develop a legitimate following in politics, because it's not going to be a season of Warrior without Leary throwing an absolute haymaker bomb in the middle of a bar fight. But is he going to be electable enough to actually hold up? Or will Buckley rig the system and use his own advantages? I wouldn't put it past him. That guy is a slimy fuck.
All right, this next section of the trailer, I'm just going to call love. And if you've watched the trailer, you'll know why. We start off with a woman telling Ah Sahm that he's more than a hatchet man.
You're not just some hatchet man. You're so much more than that.
New character alert, new character alert. Anyways, they start having sex. So Ah Sahm and Penny now seems like a thing of the past. He's got a new girl now. Ah Sahm is a fucking dog. Meanwhile, we see Chow giving a warning against chasing love.
I've seen the smartest people do the stupidest things, chasing love.
We then get a montage of love scenes between several characters. First, I think it's Lee and that woman from the bar who drugged him. I believe her name is Abigail, and she drugged Lee in season 2. We then see Atoy and I believe Nellie Davenport, the rich widow who basically runs a wine sanctuary for mainly Chinese migrant girls who are in the sex trade. It's hard to tell from this side angle, but that's my guess. It's Nellie Davenport. We then see a quick shot of Hong and some dude. Looks like a Hopway member by the suspenders, but it's hard to tell. Then we see Young Jun telling Ah Sahm not to get attached. Ha ha ha, easy advice when you're not in love, man. Anyways, that's it for the love section. Damon, what's on your mind?
No, I actually like the way you theme this one, because this section of the trailer reminds me that Ah Sahm does have a tendency to pick up love interests fairly quickly and fall for them. He's a dog. He's no Drake, but we can't act like he's Future either, right? I think this becomes kind of an Achilles heel for him at points in the show, and I really hope it doesn't happen again this season, but they're kind of telegraphing that it might. Could also be a huge point of contention between him and Young Jun while the Tong is in rough shape. Remember, we do have that underlying power struggle between Ah Sahm and Young Jun from the end of last season. Young Jun wasn't really chill with that whole mural. He doesn't really like Ah Sahm being the star of the whole show when he's the namesake of the Tong right now. Along that same line, does Penny make an appearance this season, or is she like in the sanitarium throughout it? I didn't catch her in the trailer, but I might have missed something. These eyes are getting older every year, so if anybody saw her in the trailer, you can pop in the comments. Otherwise, I think she might be taking a back seat. I really was excited to see Hong appear so many times in the trailer, because I think he was a cool character introduced last time to keep present in this season. He's a good ally and side character that can really throw some hands, and I think he's going to play a really big role this season in the dynamic of the Tong fights. He is kind of likable and newer though, and you know what that means. There is a mild chance they might kill him off this season. That's my Vegas odds prediction. If I have to throw $100 down to make the most money possible, I'm throwing it on Hong maybe dying before this season ends.
All right, so this final section of the trailer is just going to be called Ah Sam's decision, because it mainly highlights how Ah Sahm still has to choose between his sister and the Hop Way. There are random shots scattered throughout, but we don't have a ton of context, so it's hard to break down. We first see Ling telling Ah Sahm that she can be a powerful ally.
I can be a very powerful ally.
This is then juxtaposed with Young Jun telling Ah Sahm that at some point he has to choose his side.
At some point, you're gonna have to choose a side.
We see a random Leary explosion shot. Leary in these explosion fire shots is just something the producers of this show love, and you know what? I love it too. We get a quick cut of Ling's new hatchet man kicking some ass. Also, we see a shot of Ah Sahm fighting a guy with dreads. Is this one of Happy Jack's men? We've seen them brawl before with the Hop Way in season 2, so maybe we get a return to conflict in season 3. That would make sense. The trailer then ends with a montage of action scenes that are in rapid succession. Okay, Damon, thoughts on the final part of the trailer?
Yeah, like you mentioned a couple times, this section of the trailer is a masterclass in skillful editing. We know a lot's about to go down, but how the hell is it all connected, and who is actually going to beef with who? We do know that Ah Sahm and Ling, that dilemma was never going to go away, right? What do they say? Blood is thicker than water. Can I just say props to the show for keeping that underlying conflict going this long? I feel like most shows would definitely have taken some sort of sibling rivalry or conflict such as this and resolved it quickly, but it really works here and kind of always has for us. The backdrops for Leary and Atoy are oddly similar, but I got a feeling that those two backdrops aren't actually connected at all. Happy Jack being relevant was a bit of a wild card, but I think important because it's a big connection to that backdoor opium deal that Ah Sahm and Young Jun tried to run last season, and I think it's going to have some unintended consequences on deck that could potentially create more turmoil than it already did, which also exaggerates the conflict between Young Jun and Ah Sahm, so that's hugely important there as a narrative device. There is a scene that looks like Ling being apprehended by cops for a second. Maybe she pulls that trump card on Buckley she has waiting in the wings and he's not having it. Maybe there's something like that going down. Either way, you also have to remember that she fights with fire, so she's going to get burned occasionally as well. The whole squad shots are sick. I've said this before in previous videos, but it's basically that Gang of New York style, where the opening scene where you have the two mobs, the two sides, just kind of like flashing their leather, flashing their metal, seeing who's got what. And I think you should absolutely watch that movie if you've never seen it, because it's actually set, I think, 20 to 30 years before Warrior takes place when the movie starts. So it's actually a very relevant historical context to add in if you want to.
All right, everyone, that's pretty much it for the trailer breakdown. We did the best we could with limited information, and somehow we got like 15 to 20 minutes out of this shit. It's like writing a paper with size 12.5 font just to hit the page requirement. Again, trailers are super misleading on purpose, and it's straight up lying season whenever they drop these things, so we're just going to have fun with it, and all of our questions will be answered soon. Thanks to everyone for checking this out. As always, Damon and I really appreciate the support and excitement y'all show. We'll be back very soon.